Welcome back to ILTV on the Hour. I'm Caleb Ben David, coming to you live from Israel with the biggest stories coming out of the region. Despite challenges, the U.S. is still planning to deploy an international stabilization force in Gaza at the beginning of next year, a key component of Phase 2 of the peace agreement. The Jerusalem Post today citing a U.S. official saying that at the beginning, the planned multinational force will only include forces from one or two countries, with more nations expected to join at a later stage. The official also stating that the force will not be deployed in areas still controlled by Hamas. Muslim countries such as Indonesia and Azerbaijan have reportedly expressed interest in taking part in the ISF, although no nation has officially confirmed it will do so. Other countries said to be interested, including Turkey and Qatar, have been rejected by Israel. Now, this will be one of the key issues to be discussed when Prime Minister Netanyahu travels to Washington on December 29th to meet with President Trump. Israel and Bolivia have officially restored full diplomatic relations after a 16-year break, signing a joint communique at a ceremony in Washington, D.C. Prime Minister Gideon Sar and his Bolivian counterpart Fernando Aramayo announced a new framework for cooperation in agriculture, security, innovation, and tourism, with both countries to appoint ambassadors soon. Sar called the move the end of a long and unnecessary chapter, noting the ties had been severed since 2009, except for a brief restoration in 2020. He praised Bolivia's new president, Rodrigo Paz, and said Israel wants to support the country's economic reforms. The agreement also highlights Bolivia's historic support for Jewish refugees and for the 1947 UN vote establishing Israel. With Bolivia lifting visa requirements for Israelis, Jerusalem expects tourism and people-to-people ties to grow. The IDF confirms opening fire on suspects at the entrance to the southern Syrian town of Khan Arneba. According to the army, riots erupted as troops operated in the area, during which several suspects approached the forces and posed a threat to them. The IDF says troops fired warning shots in the air, and after the suspects continued to approach, the soldiers fired at the legs of two main instigators. Now, the riot dispersed shortly afterward, the army adding, then troops withdrew from the area. According to Syrian media, Syrians had protested in the area after the IDF set up a checkpoint on a major highway. Footage shows armed members of Syria's internal security forces in pickup trucks passing by the IDF troops on the highway following this incident. And Israel is bracing for severe weather as Winter Storm Byron arrives after hitting Greece and Cyprus, causing severe flooding there. Cypriot authorities are reportedly now searching for a yacht that left Ashdod for Cyprus earlier this week, carrying 4 Israeli passengers, and that has gone missing in the storm. Now, the heavy rains and the thunderstorms began last night along the coastal areas, but meteorologists are warning that starting tonight, Israel could see the kind of intense downpours that come around only once in several decades. Some army bases in southern Israel released their soldiers heading for a weekend leave earlier today than was scheduled to avoid them being caught up in potential flooding. So if you're watching this here in Israel, our advice is to stay home. Police are cautioning, try to avoid areas, low-lying areas in which have a history of flooding. So please be careful. Try to stay out of the rain if you can. And that's it for this broadcast on ILTV. For all the latest updates coming out of Israel, I'm Caleb Ben David. Of course, you can also follow us on our next broadcast, or just scan the QR code there popping up on your screen. Thank you for joining us on ILTV.